So I've never talked about this collection in a public forum before, but I think everyone watching this video can benefit from understanding why, so I figured it's time to share it. Just stay tuned to the end and you'll understand why. Every sales mentee that I've ever had, I always start by giving them the exact same advice, and that is to go out and get as many no's as humanly possible. And that's because you have to go through those no's in order to get the yeses. And I think that principle really applies for a lot more things than just sales and really life in general. I kind of look at life in its most simplest form as going and collecting no's, not like no's, but no's, N-O, go and collecting as many no's as you can in order to really get to where you want to be in life. You want to split a pizza?
No.
Megan has mastered the no. Now, the interesting part about being told no is that inherently it's not good or bad, it's just neutral. So you get to decide whether it deters you or motivates you. So throughout this video, I'm gonna talk to you about my 32 years of being told no in different situations and the results it has had for me and how you can apply it for yourself. But first, one thing that I said no to was getting a live tree to put inside of the house. Yet here we are getting ready to go put a tree in the house. There's no soil in the house, you know that. So first thing, check out these new Cuts pants that just released. I'm so excited they are finally getting into the pants. Obviously, that's all that I wear when it comes to shirts, but just wait, I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Anyway, we are at a place called For Garden's Sake that Megan has always wanted to come to. And even for me, I'm impressed by this place. I cannot wait to check it out. Do you think we're actually gonna find a tree?
Yes.
Doubt it. We did not get a tree, but we have been to every garden store in the greater Raleigh area, and For Garden's Sake is by far the best. Definitely check it out if you guys live around here. So of course, when you're young, you're always being told no by someone, usually your parents. Maybe it's because you're being an idiot, or maybe they're just trying to teach you some discipline and teach you right from wrong, and that's to be expected. But then when you get into your adult years, you're usually being told no for other reasons. In the first instance I can remember being told no and it really having an effect on me is when I was trying to get into college. So this is something that many of you have probably experienced, but I'm from a state of Ohio, and almost everyone from Ohio wants to go to the Ohio State University. The only problem with that is because the demand is so high, they can't accept everyone, right? And I am not very book smart at all. Unfortunately, I think I got an 18 on my ACT. So needless to say, I got rejected. And when I got that letter, it really kind of hurt my feelings. I was really down about it, and I was disappointed in myself, and it could have gone one of two ways. I could have just folded it all and said, I guess school's just not for me, but instead what I decided to do was just go to a school that was a little bit easier to get into. So I ended up going to Wright State University in Dayton, Ohio. The running joke about this school is people would call it Wright State, wrong school. Got him! It was kind of looked at like a joke, honestly, but I knew for me that I just needed to get my 4-year degree. And I'm very thankful that I did choose that route because I had no skills. There was nothing else for me. I needed to go get an education to really start up my career and figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And if I'm being honest, I really think that it kind of gave me a chip on my shoulder, and it really gave me the edge that I needed to get through all of the no's that I was about to receive in the upcoming years.
He's like, there it is.
Who knows? Tell me you're obsessed with your dog without telling me that you are obsessed with your dog. First time trying the Ben & Jerry's, buddy. What do you think? I don't think it's all over the place, but if you do have a restaurant called Sweet Berries, I highly recommend it. Okay, so I get into school, things are going well, but around your junior year, you're expected to go out and get an internship because after you get out of school, when you go to get an entry-level job, they're actually expecting you to have some kind of work experience. So this is the most important thing you can do in college, in my opinion, which is getting the internship. And I honestly wasn't even being picky about it. I would have taken anything. Until this point, you know, my job experience was limited. All I did was work on the farm that I grew up in. So I didn't really have any applicable skills. And I would just apply for anything that came up. So I would apply for an insurance job. You know, I had my degree in finance. I would go corporate finance, you know, you name it. If it was even relatively related, I would apply. And the reason I'm even making this video is because a guy that I connected with that had told me no, he popped up on my feed today, and I was like, I wonder if that guy even remembers me. But you know, I went through months and months of being told no. I was just getting denied time and time again. Luckily, my mom was so supportive, and she always told me, you know, if you just do your best, you're gonna get the outcomes that you desire. So finally, I landed not just an internship, but my dream internship with one of the biggest corporations in the world, actually. It's a company that everyone knows, and it was the best experience. I mean, it really, honestly, it probably changed my life, but this was a really great learning lesson for me in that, you know, just because you might get good grades or, you know, you've done all the right things, you don't deserve anything. This world doesn't owe you anything. I know it's really hard for a lot of people to hear, and if you think otherwise, then unfortunately, I think you're in for a really rude awakening in life. So waking up to cold weather, I'm already dreading what's about to come. I hate cold weather. The only good thing is, glass half full, is that you can start to wear hoodies again. And you guys know my favorite products from Cuts are actually the hoodie. This is one of their newer ones. Most of their others don't even have any branding. They just look so good. They fit perfectly. The colors are crazy. So that's probably all you're gonna be seeing me wear here for the next 5 months. And per tradition, the bacon, egg, and cheese bagel to start out this beautiful Sunday. But anyway, I had the internship, it went awesome. Instead of starting a full-time career there, I actually decided to relocate so I could go to graduate school. So I moved a few hours away and started up that program. And again, I went through a few rejections and finally ended up at the University of Cincinnati, where I got my MBA and a Master's of Accounting. So then, after I finally finish up with school, it's time to enter the real world, right? And the same thing occurs. I start applying for job after job, and everyone is shooting me down. Finally, I ended up with the company that I'm still with. I ended up meeting them just coincidentally at a job fair. And that right there, I mean, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, it really was the best possible scenario that could have ever happened, not only professionally, but also personally as well. And I know a lot of you already know the story, but in case you are new here, my wife Megan and I had actually met through work. I was at the Ohio location, she was here in North Carolina. We worked together virtually on certain projects, and we did meet when she came to Ohio for a work function. But we instantly connected. Like, there was definitely something there, and it got to a point where we were talking every single day. So we were something, but there's a lot of distance there, right? So that things were a little bit confusing, and I would always ask, like, hey, can we start hanging out? Can we make this just more than whatever it is that we were at the time? But I was trying to get somebody to come with me, and guys, she said no. I got rejected. But it just wasn't the right time for her. Megan is someone that wants to move very, very slow. She's very reserved, and I respected that. So, you know, we continued to stay in communication, and by the time that I'd moved to Texas, you know, she'd got comfortable enough to make it more than, you know, just talking over the phone. And we started dating and got engaged, obviously. Now we are married. And to this day, no one has ever told me more no than Megan. Told me no more. Come on, Travis, you can English. What do you think about that? You have no idea what I've been talking about, do you?
Nope.
Anyway, okay, but before we really get into all of that, I missed a step here. So I have this job, everything is good, right? But I decide that I no longer want to work as an accountant. Instead, I want to work in sales, which is obviously in a completely different world than my accounting career. So I start to apply for sales gigs, which everyone is looking at me like, what are you talking about? Why would we hire an accountant to work in sales? So I keep getting told no. If I could even get a response at all, most people just ghosted me. But I finally got this interview that I thought was gonna be the perfect fit. I had my sights set on it, and then I got my hopes set so high. They came back to me and they were like, you know what, you didn't get the job. And I was honestly crushed. I felt like I wasn't good enough, but I knew that if this is something I really wanted to do, I had to keep applying. And I'm thankful that I did, because ultimately I found that job in Austin, Texas. Like, talk about the stars aligning, where I could go to Austin, and it was a job that was much better suited for me and my interest. Had I got that other job, I would have hated it. So it really is kind of just holding out faith and just being optimistic enough to understand that you will get to the right place that you're supposed to be. Do you feel bad for rejecting me all those times? All right, let's get this little boy some ice cream. We're going on a car ride. We're going on a car ride. Come on. Good boy. We're going on a car ride. We're getting some ice cream. Yes.
That is my dog. Shows my dog. That is my dog. That is my dog. Shows my dog. That is my dog.
And to round everything out, after I was in Texas, I was able to relocate to North Carolina so Megan and I could take our relationship to the next level. And here we are, married, wonderful house, beautiful dog, you know, all of these things that you see. But one of the biggest things that really bothers me about YouTube is you only see the end result. You don't always get the inputs or the sacrifices or how did they actually make it here. So I really just want to give you some visibility into that, because for 10 years, you know, I'm collecting these no's ultimately to get what I want out of life. And you still might be in that season where you're really discouraged because you're being told no, whether it be from a relationship perspective, a job perspective, financial, whatever it is. But from my experience, what I can tell you is if you stay mentally strong and you really understand what your end goal is, if you stay true to that and you don't get defeated, you will get there. I promise. What do you think? She has no idea what this whole video is about. I just put the camera in her face and I'm like, you agree? Mm-hmm. She agrees. And while it might seem like I've talked about them all video, it's because Cuts clothing is so amazing. These AO joggers, I know I'm wearing them 2 days in a row, forgive me. They're so awesome. They fit perfect. They are better than any other brand out there, I can assure you. So hopefully there's still some left. It's linked down below. You can use that link and code Travis to save 15%. But regardless of what products you're looking at, you are going to love them. This is the curve hem long sleeve. Now that it's getting a little bit cooler outside, but as you can tell, the Cuts fits are just next level. They're second to none, and the colors on all of the clothes are awesome. My favorite shirts personally are the elongated shirts, but they have a style on there for absolutely everyone. You're gonna wanna be rocking Cuts this fall. Definitely check out the link down below. Use that code, save 15%. Shoot me a message on Instagram. Let me know how much you love it, and I promise you guys will never wanna wear anything else. Some of you guys might remember this. This is the best chili in the entire world. The secret is adding baked beans and a little bit of brown sugar. If you're interested in the recipe, let me know. We can definitely hook you guys up with it, but this is perfect for fall coming up. A little bit cold outside. This is so good. Give my compliments to the chef. Mm-hmm. Job well done.
Thank you.
Now tomorrow, I am going to wake up, and my goal every single day as a sales professional is to get at least one no every day, because if I'm not prospecting hard enough. So whatever it is that you're doing, I would challenge everyone to go get a no and find out what you need to do personally to move past it. But anyway, this isn't gonna be life advice with Travis. I just wanted to share some thoughts that were going through my head this week. And let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Do you want me to just stick to more surface level stuff? If so, that's perfectly fine. I know YouTube is more for entertainment than anything. But anyway, thank you so much for taking the time any day to watch. You could have been doing anything in the entire world, and you chose to spend a few minutes with me. That is pretty awesome. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I look forward to talking to y'all next time.